Good morning. We're on the Euro Japanese yen this morning, looking at ITM Genesis Elite, giving us a very highly probable boundary trade setup here. We have a very low probability associated with price staying within this current narrow boundary. So naturally, we will go for an outside boundary trade since the probability of price exiting this boundary is hence very high. The trade will expire at 8:45. We've invested 5,000 full max exposure. You, of course, can choose your own investment amount. That's entirely up to you. Okay, we're back with roughly 28 seconds remaining in the trade. As you can see, price has exited that boundary very, very aggressively and very quickly, almost immediately after the trade was executed, leaving us in a situation where price is so far away from that narrow boundary now that we have a very, very, very high chance of this trade being successful in the few seconds that remain. Now, what's interesting is Genesis Elite has also revised its focus from bullish to bearish because of the extent of that move. And price is also currently in another boundary trade setup according to ITM Genesis Elite. So what we'll do is we'll wait for this trade to expire for the platform to calculate expiry. We have expired in the money. And if after the funds are released by the platform, we're going to take another look at this chart and see if we're still in a boundary condition. And if we are, we're going to go for yet another outside boundary trade from the looks of it. So just going to wait for the platform to release funds here. Should be a net profit of 3,250 on a gross return of 8,250, with this trade having been for a duration of roughly 30 minutes. Bullish volumes, according to Smart Money, are very low. However, given that we're looking for another boundary condition, we're not really concerned about which direction the trade goes. We're most concerned about what the likelihood of price exiting the current boundary is. So we're going to now take another look at the chart real quick, see if we've got good probabilities, which we do. We're roughly 30-odd percent, 34% probability of price staying in this boundary, which is very low. Therefore, the logical choice is to go for an outside boundary trade, again on the Euro Japanese yen. Going to go in here, 5,000 full max exposure. Feel free to choose your own investment amount as per your own risk management plan. You should always do that as practice and rule of law. So we'll come back to you shortly before expiry. Okay, we're back with roughly 10-odd seconds remaining here to this trade's expiry. As you can see, price has exited the boundary to the downside, as was predicted in advance by ITM Smart Money in conjunction with Genesis Elite. Genesis Elite was informing us of a low probability existence of price within the boundary, which therefore means that you can go for an outside boundary trade. The logic there being price probability of staying inside the boundary too low, therefore probability of price getting outside the boundary much higher. Therefore, take outside boundary trade. Quite simple. So in that respect, ITM Smart Money also told us, well, the bullish spikes there are quite small compared to the previous bearish momentum. So it's quite likely that price will continue towards the short side, which it did. As you can see, price exited the boundary towards the downside. But you don't have to worry about the directional change in boundary trades. You merely have to worry about volatility and timing, because what you're interested in is price getting out of the boundary, not where price is going. Now we've expired in the money, and you'll notice that we're also in another situation, yet again, much like the previous one, where we're again in a very high probability boundary trade setup, where the probability of price staying inside the current boundary is very, very low, this time under 5%. So we'll go for another outside boundary trade on the Euro Japanese yen, given the conditions, which is going to expire at 9:45, roughly 30 minutes from now. Let's go for that again. Quite a bit of volatility going on, so price has changed. I'm going to get back in there now and should give us the trade. There we go. So we're in this trade, and we'll come back to you shortly before this trade's expiry. Stay tuned. Okay, we're back with roughly 17 seconds remaining to this trade's expiry here. Again, price has exited the boundary towards the downside with a minor blip there where it re-entered the boundary, but very safely exited again due to just a lot of bearish momentum. ITM Smart Money leading the way on that side, telling us that bears are quite in control on this short time frame. We have now expired in the money for a third time here on the Euro Japanese yen in an outside boundary setup, shown to us by ITM Genesis Elite in advance and confirmed by ITM Smart Money with respect to direction. However, direction is not important. Merely the probability is of price exiting the boundary firstly, and the volatility at that time. So you should choose pairs that are largely traded not small pairs that barely move. The Euro USD is a good prime for these sorts of trade setups. The Euro Japanese Yen is most certainly a good pair for these sorts of setups. And where volatility is in short time frames, such as the 5 minute and beyond, trades can be taken for durations of 15 to 30, sometimes 45 minutes, leading to very, very highly probable results if you choose a strategy that ITM Genesis Elite shows you and confirm it with ITM Smart Money for your timing requirements. So thank you very much for watching. We have now expired with three trades at 3,250 each, netting us a profit of 9,750, I believe, in this session. Thank you.